This week's episode is a little short after an unexpected second move to another campground after encountering a very rude and hostile campground owner. We started in the backwoods of Maine. There's not a whole lot of anything out there.
No.
Like literally at all. Logging roads, lumberjacks, and Mount Katahdin. I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
We checked out the 96-mile long road known as the Golden Road. It was built by the Great Northern Paper Company in the early 70s. It's a private logging road, but they keep it open for public recreational use. I mean, it was a long road in the middle of nowhere.
It's a dirt road full of potholes.
Yep.
And nothing to see.
There really isn't. There's not even really any trails out there. You do have Mount Katahdin, but that's in Baxter State Park, and they do not allow dogs. You can't even take the dog in your car and drive in there. So, which left us to really nothing to do, just explore these old logging roads. The allure behind the Golden Road is kind of cool. There's some myths as to why it's called the Golden Road. One of them is it cost $1 million to a mile to build this thing. And the Great Northern Paper Company at one point was spending $6.8 million a year just to maintain this thing. So it's incredible, the raw nature of it all. So if you're up on an adventure, that's the place to do it. Also out here you have Mount Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument. This is a relatively newly minted national monument in 2016. There's no signs, there's no services.
Yeah, the word monument doesn't mean anything here. It's just some land that they were able to snag up, and they are protecting it, and that is it. 87,000
acres of absolute nothing. This place kind of gave me the jeepers because you could truly get lost in here.
Oh yeah.
We always have a good idea of where we're going and what direction we're pointed, and maybe not relying on maps too much, but if you took a wrong turn off of one of these logging roads, you would truly get lost.
Yeah.
There's just nothing out there. So again, if you're up for the adventure and you like to go see a bunch of absolute nothing, then that's the place to do it. So about the hostile campground owner, you know, we've been doing this for more than 2 years now. We've been to all kinds of campgrounds. This campground was odd in the way it was structured and the way it was laid out. Nothing was level. Everything was kind of on hills. We had a very hard time getting our rig level at 35 feet. You can't level a Class C as much as you can a fifth wheel or a trailer. There's a limit to how far you can go. You're really not supposed to get the front tires off the ground. Definitely not the back tires because of the emergency brake. So we could just not get leveled very safely here. So we approached them, asked them if they had anything else available. They became very combative and started arguing with us and telling us that we were not doing something right, that we were doing it wrong. So
in his however many years of being there, he had never had someone come to him and say that they could not get level in that spot.
Right.
But they also could not say for sure if they had ever had a Class C our size there.
Right.
And he also said that that was the most level spot in the entire campground.
Yeah,
which is unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. You can see the picture here. The tires are completely off the ground, and this was already after working for an hour or so to get more level than we were before. At any rate, it was just very strange to be arguing with somebody like that. So we didn't feel great there anymore. There was just a bad vibe.
There was.
It's near the town of Millinocket, and there's really nothing in Millinocket to see or do. There's like a heavy feeling in the area.
There is.
So we left out of there and we went to Bangor and finished our week there. We stayed at the Pumpkin Patch RV Resort. This was a great RV resort.
It really was.
Very big, very clean, very level, very big rig friendly, very full-timer friendly. They'll let you wash your rig. You pay $10 and you can wash your RV there. You could have your mail sent there. Really nice ladies working at the front counter.
Super friendly.
So we highly recommend this place. And if you want to go check out Millinocket and the Golden Road, just take a day trip up there.
Sure.
There's quite a few things to see in Bangor. We were kind of limited by time, so we checked out a few cool things. One of them is the Stephen King house. He doesn't live here anymore. He lived here for 30 some odd years and moved away. And they turned it into an archive of his works and I guess a writer's retreat now. It was cool to see the house and kind of be like creepers and taking pictures.
Yeah.
There was other people there, so we didn't feel alone in doing that.
Yeah, and the house is cool. It's got a wrought iron fence out front, and it's got bats and a dragon, and you know, it's pretty neat. And the day that we had gone, somebody had tied a red balloon to the front gate.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's cool if you're a fan of Stephen King, of his writing, you know, just to be there and to imagine how many books or parts of books have been written in that exact spot.
Yeah, exactly. That's the cool thing about it for sure. So definitely go and check that out if you're going to be in Bangor. It's really easy to get to. Another kind of quirky thing you can find in Bangor is the Paul Bunyan statue. This is a 31-foot tall, 3,700-pound, 110-mile-per-hour wind-tested statue of Paul Bunyan. Bangor, Maine claims that he was from here, and so does Minnesota. but Bangor claims to have the birth certificate of Paul Bunyan. So it's kind of a quirky thing to see. There's supposed to be a time capsule buried beneath of it. It's supposed to be opened up in 2080. So another cool thing to check out while you're in Bangor. So you can't come to Maine without trying the lobster. And so one of the food trucks that we found was the Lobstah Buoy. It was a cool food truck. They had all kinds of great seafood, like fish and chips and the staples foods that you see everywhere else. And I don't know, we've had lobster from the south, from Florida.
Right.
I guess you're saying it's prepared a little bit differently.
Well, I mean, it's one thing if you have just a lobster tail with the butter, or if you're getting a lobster roll.
Yeah.
Because now you're bringing in the elements with the bread and the sauce and all that kind of stuff. So they're very different.
They are very different. The bread was very buttery and light and crunchy, and
I felt like at this place the bread was overpowering.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just the butter, it was like it had some seasoning in it, almost like a garlic bread. There was a flavor in it that took away from the lobster. But you were reading that people judge these based on the bread, the lobster, and the sauce individually?
Exactly, yes. So maybe there's a sequence to it.
Yeah, the science to comparing lobster rolls.
Right, so if you know more about it than ours, then let us know below in the comments. The place was cool. You could watch the airplanes take off from Bangor International Airport there. The day that we went, there was all types of jets taking off, and Max was just geeking out, taking pictures.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really cool. You could sit there on the picnic table, plenty of picnic tables to sit and eat your food and watch the planes take off. And definitely a must-see thing and a must-do thing when you're in Bangor. Another place you can watch the planes come in at Bangor International Airport is the Private Air Museum. We were going to try to go, but they were closed during the week.
Right.
They're only available or open during the weekend. They have an observation platform on the side of the building where you can climb up onto it and you get an unobstructed view of the planes coming in at the airport, so you can see over the fence. So it's really cool to watch from there. We didn't get to watch from there because the place was closed, but you can sit right outside the gates, or there's a parking spot across from the airport where you can watch them come in. So you can still get in there and you can see through the chain link fence and you can watch them coming in. You can see the smoke coming off the tires when they land and the whole nine. So definitely another cool place to watch the planes in Bangor.
Yeah.
Lots of more things to do in Bangor. We didn't have time to do everything, but for now we're headed to the coast. So if you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and we'll see you next week.